One of the perks of being the radio operator was that, magically, it also brought in the Grand Ole Opry from Nashville.
I remember him saying, he actually listened to the Grand Ole Opry and loved the sound of June Carter. And, vowed someday that he was going to meet June Carter.
The Carter name would impact his life in ways that he could never have imagined during those years, thousands of miles from home, when the idea of making music was only a dream. If you had musical aspirations in the early 50s, Memphis was the place to be. And Sam Phillips' Memphis recording service and Sun record label was at its white-hot center. The label was already causing quite a stir with local boy Elvis Presley, who had begun capturing the nation's attention and ruling the airwaves. After finishing his tour of duty in July of 1954 at the age of 22 and determined to become a radio star, Cash moved to Memphis. With a pocket full of songs written while in Germany, he began to develop a simple and stark sound with two guys he met through his brother Roy, double bass player Marshall Grant and guitarist Luther Perkins, a couple of moonlighting mechanics from the automobile sales company.
I kept calling Sam Phillips, and he turned me down. I called once and said, "I'm John Cash, I'm a gospel singer." He said, "We can't sell gospel music." So 2 weeks later, I called back. I said, "I'm John Cash, I'm a country singer." He'd forgotten. Couldn't see me. So I kept calling until Sam finally said he'd listen.
And he said, "Well, I won't have a band. I'll just have a bass and guitar. And I don't play the guitar too well myself."
The fellas that are backing you up on the show today, didn't they start in the business with you?
Yes, they did. Two of them did. We added one later on bass. Marshall Grant started with us. Later we added W.S. Holland. He joined the group. Electric guitar, Luther Perkins has always been with us.
When we got through the audition, first of all, I liked what I heard. It was different. And he said, "Mr. Phillips, when we come back," and he got to this before I'd given him a decision on whether he had done well or not, "I'll bring a good band with me next time that'll come in." So I said, "Johnny, I kind of like what I heard, just like it is."
Everybody knows where you go when the sun goes down. I think you only live to see the lights uptown. I wasted my time when I would try.
During his first session at Sun with Sam Phillips in the spring of 1955, Johnny Cash recorded Cry, 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 which became his first hit single. The mechanics quit their jobs, the Tennessee 2 was born, and they hit the road.
He just had a different sound. His voice was so different.
The sound of his voice, it was dark, it was mysterious, and the music was simple. It was elementary in a sense, but it was really elegant. And I realized all that as a kid, and Luther's guitar just wove around his voice like a vine or something.